Hi there, Dolly friends. I'm so happy that you're here today, especially because it seems as if my muse has gone on holiday and she neglected to tell me, and left to on my own, I wasn't able to have any project to go over with everyone today.
I have, however, been completely obsessed with making mini 1930s kitchen tools.
So instead, I thought what we would do is just go through Whistle By House.
That way, all my new Dolly friends can get to know the Twisselman and Rinker family, and all my other Dolly friends can have a little refresher. This is a big family, and there are a lot of people running around Whistle By House at any given moment.
The year is 1930 something or other, and we are in San Francisco, California. This is the fourth generation here in Whistleby House, and they've been here since the Civil War. So this house belongs to Millie, whose maiden name was Twisselman, and she is a young woman, and she's married to Hans here, who's on the sofa. And they're in the parlor. So Millie has inherited this home from her great grandparents who are no longer alive, but the house has a lot of history. So you see things from many different eras here. So there's Millie. She is kind of the star of the show, and she's a wonderful little doll. And she is getting some coffee for her friends and family who are here. This is her cousin Hildy down here. She came from the southern part of the country, and she aims to stay here in California. And of course, you all remember Mrs. Quince, who she's just a neighbor and someone they know from the community. And she was, of course, recently in the infirmary. So just looking around the parlor, there was recently some remodeling done here with the doors and the walls, so not everything has returned to its place. In the teacup there on the table, you'll see the Charlottes. There's 3 of them there, and there, of course, you know, our other Charlotte. We'll get to her in a minute. This is Juanita. She is another family friend who can often be found here in Whistleby House. So the family here in Whistleby is a medical family. Here is a family photo wall. Millie and some of her sisters and friends are also nurses, as well as her mother and father, who is a doctor. These are the leading to the dormitory, where we'll go next. But this is the dormitory where some of the nurses stay when they are going to be having duty in the infirmary. So right now we have little Miss Winnie. She is sleeping there, but we'll get to her in a minute. And this is Gertrude. She is one of Millie's sisters, and she is quite sassy. She is a nurse, and she has gone to the nursing school, but she is pretty lazy and pretty outspoken and does whatever she wants. In fact, all of the women in this family are really rather outspoken and very strong women, advocating for especially rights of women to vote. Well, I've done some work on the dormitory. There's still a lot to be done. Right now, I'm trying to work on this wall. Yeah, you see that big stain there? That is from wax. Yes, so something will have to go there, and the sink, and probably they need a toilet, which I will think I would like to make.
This is Winnie. She's resting after a long shift downstairs, so we'll try not to disturb her. I definitely need some shelves on the wall, maybe a wardrobe in here, some different furniture.
So on the other side of the pocket door is the nursery. So we will go in there next. Here is the nursery. There's still a lot of work to be done in the nursery. On the walls, they need some lighting here in the nursery. There's no lighting. Yeah, the built-in shelves, I kind of need to redo the legs on the built-in shelves. And of course, there's toys everywhere like you would find in the nursery. This is Miranda. She spent some time in the infirmary. There are videos about all the family and some of the people who've stayed in the infirmary, and I'll try to link those up, or there's playlists easy to find on my channel homepage. These babies belong to various and sundry in the community, and Miranda minds them either during the day or sometimes at night. Hans and Millie do not have any children yet. Well, look at that. There is a random arm there in the toy box. Well, there's always broken toys wherever there's children. Here are some of Miranda's charges, listening to her read a Beatrix Potter story. So the fireplace is awfully small. I'd like to have a fireplace in there and maybe a table. We are going to go down to the infirmary, but it is a little bit difficult to film down there, so I'm going to have to film from above. Now, the infirmary was started to help the community during the Great Earthquake in 1906. It's continued as kind of a community tradition in the neighborhood, even though there are plenty of hospitals and clinics for getting care.
The Twisselman family is well respected, and people still stop by from time to time to get some basic looking after, recovery from long nights and minor injuries. And babies are born from time to time.
Can't even remember what's in there. There's an ice pack and things in there. The photographs on the wall here were a gift to Millie's great-grandmother from her friend Clara Barton, who of course was the first person to establish the Red Cross in the United States. And Nurse Jenny is just making up the beds. There's no one in the infirmary right now. And there is Dr. Twisselman, Millie's father, and her mother, Mary, she's the head nurse and runs the nursing school. They're just stocking the supply cabinet and straightening up in the infirmary. And next to the infirmary is the kitchen. Now, there is no wall as of yet between the kitchen and the infirmary. It's all one large room and would have been the downstairs or basement area of the home. But if you know San Francisco at all, the basement can actually be above street level. So, yeah. Just keep that in mind. So there needs to be some kind of division there, and I haven't decided quite what I'm going to do yet. I have this cabinet which I took out of my stash. It was given to me by a dolly friend, and I'm thinking of reworking that into a usable, say, Hoosier style cabinet. But like I said, my muse abandoned me suddenly for her holiday, and I don't know where to begin with it. The cookies that you see on top of there, I took away from Gertrude. She had them in the bathtub, and I took them away from her to do this filming. So this is Beatrice from the Northeast, and she came out to help the Twisselmans and is a really good friend of theirs. And she loves to cook and bake, and she really wanted to get the kitchen in order.
She was given Little Mama as a scullery girl. She used to mind the nursery, but then went off to nursing school.
Unfortunately, she wasn't able to pass her clinicals in nursing school, and she wasn't able to take over the nursery again because Miranda took that over. So she was relegated to being Beatrice's little scullery girl, and she's trying to teach her how to be in a kitchen.
She is a bit larger scale than the other dolls, and she kind of bumbles around a bit.
And she's a little bit emotional as well, but she's learning. You can see she's got some sausages there. She's got looks like she's got some green beans or something in a jar. She's learning. Yeah, here's the sink, and it's really in need of some attention, as you can see. Now, the furniture that I have here in the kitchen is far too small. This is about, I would say it's like 1/16. It's a little pantry cabinet, which I built, but it's too small, like I said. And then I'm gonna just move little mama out of the way so we can see what's behind her. I don't think I've ever really showed the kitchen at all because it's not really in order. So there's a little refrigerator, and really I ought to put some things inside of it, but I don't think there's anything inside of it. And then there's like a little sideboard there.
Oh dear, I didn't realize what a mess the kitchen is. I'm going to have to clean and mop before I show you any more. I'm so embarrassed.
Well, I don't know how many hours later it is, but I've cleaned and reworked the whole kitchen. Yeah, unfortunately, I am not one of those people that glues anything down, and I'm even reluctant to use tacky wax, and there's a lot of knocking over. So what I've done is I've put the pantry on top of the tiny little sideboard and made it sort of a one-piece cupboard, and I think it works out okay. So there's like a little cupboard underneath where they can store their root veggies, and then the pantry where they have some jellies and jams and a few other things. And I will be working on this other little cabinet that hopefully they can use because they do need more room in the kitchen. I did the dishes. I didn't get anyone up out of their bath, Gertrude, to help me. I did it. And yeah.
And in my distraction and ignorance as a very amateur dollhouser, I neglected to notice that my kitchen sink has no faucet.
I don't know how the dolls have been getting around that, so I'm going to have to build a faucet for the sink. The refrigerator is way too small, and this little shelf is fine for the time being, but it's really not large enough. What is that? Now watch me. I'll probably knock it all over. Oops, here I go. Here I go. So I did have a little table that I could put some veggies on for cooking, and a little table that can be used for working. And I'm going to see if I can't get in to show you that stove. Here's the table where Beatrice has been cooking, baking. I'm not sure what she's got going on. She's making some little tarts, I believe. Here's my stove, which I acquired some time ago. I got it because it says DOT on the front. It's a cast iron stove. It's pretty exactly 1/12 scale. It opens here. I don't think these other ones open, but it's really a great little stove, and I just love it.
And there you have the kitchen.
So to end, just a reminder that we also have Charlotte, who lives in the little moss bark cottage in the back garden of Whistleby House. Should we open it up and bother her? Wake up! She's actually sleeping, so we won't get in there too much to bother her. But she's got her own little home here, her own little cast iron stove. I hope you enjoyed this quick little visit through Whistleby House. Please come back and visit me next time in the doll cupboard. Hopefully my muse will be back soon. And there's a lot of knocking over. A lot of knocking over.